without going too high, say 35% of my 200.
It's senior citizen.
Yes. Which they get discounted rates.
But you are charged.
Yes, sir. There are a handful of people though that I do not charge and have never charged, but
Yeah, I would think, that's what I'm saying, we'll have to do it, most of the people would be the senior citizen that can't go, go into the.
that's what I thought too, ma'am, but, come to find out it's probably majority of the working class
Oh, yeah.
that, the little bit of time they got off work on the weekends, they don't want to mess with that. I can't blame them. That's the whole reason I started, because I hated it. I know I couldn't be the only one.
Well, we have a policy right now, that's what we're having this discussion about, that
Yeah, that's
says that this can't happen, basically.
pretty much opposite of everything we've talked about in the past. I guess nobody knew it was there. Yeah, that's the first place I did was come and talk with the administrator and talk with Ricky and just made sure I could do this before I went any further and put it together.
So would you have a problem carrying it to the transfer station?
No, sir.
See, when you take it to the county dump, I mean, to the landfill out there, or to the dumpsters out there, see, that just make, handle it, you handle it, then the
That's
county
right.
handle it.
That does put me in a situation where it's hard to upgrade my equipment to a dump truck. Because it wouldn't be useful in the situations, except for maybe Pat Dixon. But,
But I have this place where you dump, you just throw it out the back there, just throw it out, right? Or you have a
at
dump
the
trailer?
transfer station?
Yeah,
I'd love to be able to dump up there.
I guess we're getting at, this could be beneficial to you as well.
Yeah. For
What you
all
want?
of us. I mean, I'm
I don't
kinda cutting down on y'all's.
No, we think you do a good thing. Well, we got a policy here to say,
Right.
do it the way we do it.
I understand.
And you all get paid to do it.
are you
So,
willing to pay to get rid of it, the trash?
Depends on what that fee is at the transfer station. I mean, that's something I need to know.
It was 35.82
that's our fee.
per ton, but we don't know how much that would be for a private
Right.
hauler. I ain't got a clue what I pay, I just don't know. Pay
Which is $35 a ton.
$35.82 per ton. Well, how about we just, find out what that is and get back with you and go from there before we make any changes to the policy, because there's nothing wrong with the policy that's there.
No.
I mean, I'm sitting here, but I don't see anything that's out of the norm, so I don't know why we want to go through all that.
Are you picking up any customers now?
Mhm.
You picking up more and more every day?
I've been weeding them out for the last 6 months or so. Anybody I gotta chase my money down, try them. But,
My question is, why can't we let him do it on the same price as the county? Because he's gonna be saving us money.
that was gonna be my next statement.
He's gonna be saving us money.
When the city and I spoke,
The
they,
city ain't involved.
Right.
well, they are involved with the transfer station.
They're competitors, they're in the same business, of course it went up.
When they brought in a private hauler to do that, they just said that their rate went up, that the transfer station did not allow them to take their trash at the city's rate, which was the government rate like we had.
We need to check into that.
It'd be something we, I guess me and y'all and somebody from
Well,
the,
why don't you let us try to negotiate that rate for you, because we would like to see you continue doing what you're doing. I think you're doing a very good thing for a lot of people, especially senior citizens, and I hate to disturb that.
Yeah.
But,
and people
we do got to go by the policy. So, unless we adopt a change in it. But in reality, if you've got a business, it's a cost of business.
oh, absolutely.
And
So,
the right way to do it, and I know you can't really avoid this at all times, but the biggest complaints I've heard, and this will address that, is folks having to sit there and wait while you run loading all that trash. So that's the only complaints I get, period. Besides that, they love it, you put it in the dumpster, it's great, it's a great thing to do, but at the private, and that would take care of this if you haul it to the transfer station. So that would be a win-win for everybody.
Would you
The
let
only
us
places
try?
I may incur a line would be Pat Dixon. And in which case, if I see where that situation is going to present itself, I will back out of line and let a couple people go ahead of me. So I do make every effort to, you know, make it as streamlined as possible.
Let us help you to see if we can get you the same price. And then we're gonna explain to them that it's, you know, that they gonna get the trash regardless. So
Right.
maybe I'll let Oakley, and if he wants.
Yeah, if we can all work together, hey, that's fine. I'm good with that.
You good with all that, if we can get that worked out, the same rate we pay. Okay. All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on that?
The only other thing we need is y'all's permission to develop that permit.
Yes. Go ahead. Are you vote?
Yeah, I recommend
That we just discussed.
the permit
Okay.
for our office to go ahead and develop that permit.
I make a motion to authorize, Oakley and work with everybody and develop the permit. And then we'll come back and vote on fees or anything.
I'll second. Got a motion by Hank, second by Van. Is there any discussion on that? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried unanimous.
I did have one more question I forgot to ask.
All right.
Sorry, keeping y'all. Why did this come about now? Just out of curiosity, y'all just going through the old stuff, revamping because we got a new administrator or?
I can't answer that. Can anybody answer that? I mean,
How it really came about on my side is I had the road department remove signs at a county dump site, which
So
included your
you and me and
personal
Utah.
business sign. And when you and I spoke, I was trying to work out a solution, and then I found in our county ordinances where this was already in existence.
I got some. Well, I'm gonna shake your hand, buddy, because you did what you said you was gonna do. Look into it.
all right, item 15 is tax commissioner updates. That's Susie Kersey.
The form she has is on tab 7.
These are forms that, y'all have to, y'all can discuss if y'all want to sign or not. But every term, we have to have these signed. I don't know which one's first in the first one is the resolution. This was wrote up by our,
It's the order they have in it.
by our attorney in Atlanta that represents the tax commissioners. It just gives you the code sections of the penalties and everything that we do. Whereas it says 48-5-242, y'all can authorize me to, take off some penalties and interest. It's a thing by, if there's a clerical error or, somebody didn't receive a bill because we're fixing to send out delinquents. Like I said, that's one form that has to be signed or y'all can sign. Do you have any questions about that one?
Same as last year, that's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, we just have to do this every 4 years. So, and then the next one is, we have, it goes by population, for a county, about how often we distribute to the county or the different entities, the school and the city. We do it twice a month now. And, this is a recommendation sign. We've already talked to the school board, they said it was fine, we talked to the city. And this is just asking if we can distribute once a month instead of twice a month.
Can I ask one?
Well, it takes a while, we've been so busy, and a lot of counties is going to this, that y'all have to sign it. But, you'll be getting the same amount of money and everything, but, it just takes a lot of time to run the reports and do the distributions, and it's just more paperwork and all that. Now, when it comes property tax season, and we get a lot of money, if y'all wanna do it every 2 months, the 15th and the last day of the month, I'll be glad to go back and do that.
If we were to run into any issues with once a month, could we come back to the table and rediscuss that at that point now?
And I mean, I'll work,
I would like to see that in there about the property tax now. I mean, I wouldn't have no problem with it accepting it that time, but I'd like to see that in writing. I wouldn't want just, if you want me to sign it, I want it in writing.
well, I'll work with y'all anyway, but this was just, something we was asking. And the next one is, just giving us permission to accept checks, cash, credit cards, debit cards on behalf of the county.
And we always did that.
But I just have to have this signed every 4 years.
Okay.
Well, no change on this one either.
No change on that.
So the only change we got is the one right here going from 2 weeks distribution once a month.
Right.
Except during property tax season.
Can I ask, what would you consider that should be too, like, what period of time, if we're gonna change it, what period of time would be, do you think we should do every 2 weeks? Or twice a month?
We have to do it on the 15th and the last day of the month.
How do you say what time of year?
Yeah, what, are you talking about like November, December, January, or November, December, like what?
As soon as the bills goes out till the due date, the month of the due date, or the month after.
So what months would that be? December?
When we get our tax bills out,
So let's do the middle of
Say-
January this time. Because they weren't due till after January this year. Last year they were due middle of December.
It would basically be from when tax bills go out, maybe 2 months after that?
usually the period is from September to December.
Or can we just say August through December? So can we vote on these tonight? Is that what you want us to do?
I was supposed to have this done last month, but I had surgery, so.
So the first resolution, which there's no changes from last year, I would need a motion to accept this resolution.
I'll make that motion as presented.
I'll second it.
Have a motion from Hank, and a second from Van. Any discussion? Hearing none, all vote in favor, right hand. Motion passed unanimously. On the second one, we're gonna ask her to change, she's gonna go to once a month billing for January through July.
Actually, once a month disbursement.
Yeah,
Once a month disbursement. And then through August through December, we will do it twice a month during property tax season.
I made the motion.
I'll second it.
Got a motion from Ricky, a second from Van, is there any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. With them modifications. And the next one is, there's no changes from last year, she just wants them to be able to accept checks, cash, debit cards, and/or credit cards for payment on behalf of that county.
Make the motion as presented.
I'll second it.
Got a motion from Hank, second from Ricky. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously.
And I was gonna run the report in time, I was late behind. But, our state auditor has always said that we have 90% collection rate by June the 30th, we're doing good. And I ran it the first of the week, and we've already got 92% collected of our property tax.
Great. All right, anything else, Susan?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
You may change that one.
16, that would be administrator updates.
And I know time's slipping away, so I'll try to be quick. On tab 8, you can see sort of outline of what I want to discuss with you all. One is our financial status. At the end of January, we were 58.33% through the fiscal year. And where you see year-to-date, or YTD, that is for the fiscal year, not the calendar year. As far as last year, and well, this fiscal year, January 2021, ending revenue was $1,713,338.71. That is 17.1% of our projected income. Last year at this time, we were at $7,437,714, 75.1% of our projected income. The reason why we are lower this year is we pushed back because of COVID, property taxes, and all that fun jazz. As Susie just mentioned, they have that money for us. We're just waiting for that disbursement. So this next go around, we should see that number shoot up. As far as expenses, this year we have spent $5,222,449, or 51.9% of our expected, budgeted expenses. As far as last year, we had spent $5,696,926, or 57.6%. So we are currently $474,000 and some change lower than what we were last year, which to me, that's good news. As far as our December SPLOST, for December, we brought in $211,700. November, we brought in $170,492, or for December, $41,000 more, or 41 and some change. As far as December 2019, we brought in $160,271.92. So we are up this year $51,428.54 on our SPLOST revenue. So at this point in time, I'd say we're in better financial shape than what we were last year as soon as we get that disbursement from the tax commissioner's office. The next thing is the comprehensive plan. Just to give you an update, at our last meeting, you all voted to approve the city paying $3,000. I hope it's okay. I negotiated with the city for them to pay a true third, which would be $3,300. They've agreed to that, so they're going to pay $3,300 instead of the $3,000. We have also prepared a list of stakeholders for the comprehensive plan. The city has already approved that list. It is shown as Appendix B in your packet. As soon as you all approve this list and the city of Denton approves it, we can go ahead and start sending out invitations for the comprehensive plan. This list was created based off what we did 5 years ago, along with the regional commission's suggestions on who to add. In some of these places, well, most of them, I put individuals' names. If they decline that opportunity, we can go back and find the next closest type person to invite on to it. The regional commission said if we could get 30% of these folks to show up, we're in great shape. So this is a pretty large list. They don't anticipate this whole list showing up, but we can always cross our fingers and hope. The next thing is the TIA and Elmeg Road projects. TIA banned 3 projects, which is Satilla Church Road, Elizabeth Church Road, and I believe Philadelphia Church Road. I'm not looking at it, so don't quote me on that last one. The bid opening for that is February 18th. Chad Hofstadler will be down here. You all are not required to be at that bid opening. It is simply us looking to make sure that they have all the paperwork necessary, that they did not forget anything, and all the bids were on the same thing, and then you all will vote for that lowest bidder at that next meeting. But that is on February 18th at 11 a.m. The next thing is we need to pick the roads for striping for LMIG funds. If we do not decide those roads, the state may take that money away. We already have the money, it's just sitting there. We need to go ahead and start spending those funds. In your packet as well, you have a list of roads that are deemed as being the most desiring of that Robert created for y'all. However, this is just options. You do not have to choose these roads. It's whatever you would like. We have approximately 15 miles in each district that we construct with high build or high base. You'll have part of my terminology, paint. It should last about 3 or 4 years is what Chad told me as far as the striping goes. The next thing is the Omaha Community Center. The playground out there is starting to become a safety hazard and a liability. I had the road department go out and remove the playground equipment. At Commissioner Crosby's request, I have started looking into replacing that playground equipment. I have been looking at brand new equipment. I'll tell you, brand new equipment is very expensive. And so I am currently trying to find used equipment that's still in good shape for us to potentially go out there and replace that playground equipment we removed. At your all's approval. Number 5, the National Association of Counties is hosting a national art contest titled I Love My County Because. I would like for us here in Jeff Davis to follow along on that contest and potentially display any winners in the courthouse in the month of June. There is a press release that I just adapted from a National Association of Counties. We can change that to be however y'all would like for it to be. Heather said that she'll run lead on that project. If you all would like for us to move forward on that, we'll start opening that up in March, if you all would like for us to. And the last update I have for you is the EMA building fire. The building was insured, I didn't write it on this paper, I apologize, for a little over $1.5 million, and that was everything excluding the vehicles. The vehicles were valued at a total of $435,000. That includes the brand new ambulance that we just bought. 911 center is up and running. The center and the sheriff's office have done a great job transitioning quickly. Alma Telephone Company is currently in the process of running a hardwire connection to the building. They should be done with that for internet by the end of the month. EMA has been moved to Fire Station 1 temporarily. All EMA calls were already being forwarded there before the fire. If an EOC room is needed, we have plans to do that jointly with Athens County. EMS is currently in the training room of Fire Station 1. Their Assistant Director, Edwin Williams, told me they are happy there for the time being, and he urged us to take our time to make good decisions instead of trying to quickly find them a place to be that they're perfectly content where they're at the moment. We have purchased a mobile home from Yes Home Center in Baxley, and they matched the price of the mobile home from Blacksher. Yes Home Center has also decided to donate brand new beds, mattresses, linens, kitchen appliances, a sofa / pull-out bed, kitchen tables, and seating, plates, bowls, silverware, and a flat screen TV to the county for the EMS to be able to have.
We was totally unaware of that till he went, and they graciously gave us that. They said it'd be ready to set up and live in.
I know that was rapid fire. I'm trying to be conscious of the time, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you all have about that.
Do we need to vote on any of that tonight?
The only thing, and I don't know if it necessarily needs a vote, is the I Love My County art, or I Love My County Because art contest. Don't know if we necessarily need a vote, but would just like to have you all's approval for us to be able to do that contest here in the county.
I make a motion approved.
I'll say.
We got a motion and a second. Discussion on that? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. All right. Attorney updates.
I really only have 2 things here that I wanted to update y'all about. I appreciate y'all giving me an opportunity to do this. I think it's a good way for me to be able to, it's really the only opportunity I get to talk to all of y'all at the same time. So I'm glad that I'm able to do this. As far as the Silicon Ranch, which would be Snipesville 2 and 3, just to give you an update, the memorandum of understandings, I have got all the signatures that were required, delivered them to the bond attorney's office. He's got signatures from the Silicon Ranch company, and he has put those packages together, put all the signatures together. We have 5 separate ones, and he is supposed to be sending the originals to us back then. So just to let y'all know that has been taken care of. As the other thing I wanted to kind of update you on was the proposed hotel that, this is really a joint development authority thing, but I know y'all are involved with it as well. But the documents that we have proposed for that project have been prepared. I plan to present those at the JDA meeting, the next one that comes up, and assuming that they are okay with it and approve the form of these documents, then my plan at that point in time is to take it to Mr. Patel, let him look at it, and make sure he's okay. And I'm assuming if he has a lawyer, maybe perhaps his lawyer wants to look at it. And then once those documents, and if any of y'all want to look at the proposal, I'd be happy to email them to you too. But then once everybody's approved, at that point in time, there is a resolution that the JD has to vote on, and of course, Mr. Patel has to sign into that. So we are moving in the right direction with that project at least. So, and hopefully by the time we come back, perhaps at the next meeting, we'll may very well have those documents executed. So, any other questions?
I have been getting some questions about that, so if there's any way possible, and I know we talked about getting a rendering of what it was actually going to look like.
Yeah.
With the community tied in, if we could.
And if I'm not, I have been presented with pictures. Of course, that's just a picture of what I guess Mr. Patel thinks it's going to look like. And as I understand it, the lease and the documents have those pictures attached as an exhibit to, meaning that if something happens and we have a completely U-turn, it's going to look similar to that. So, yeah, there's going to be some guidance. And then, you know, from my understanding, Mr. Patel, he's got to get these documents from us because the titles of the property is not in his name. So he can then present them to start financing, and then at that point in time, he would get an architect. And I believe the documents, perhaps, you know, we're going to be involved in that process all along, making sure that when he does get an architect that does have a plan, does have a rendering, then he'll present that to us to look at. So I did talk to Mr. Patel. Of course, he says he has no intentions other than to have it to be a beautiful motel. So, but yeah, we plan to stay on top of that. So, all right. Thank y'all.
Discuss any new or old business.
I want to bring a couple of things up. One, just because we do this a lot, we ask each other to think about something, then we never bring it up again. And I just want to put it in form of a motion and see if the rest of y'all want to take the time to think about it. Since we do have a new administrator now, and you know, a lot of new policies and procedures coming into place and guidelines that we got to follow and make sure that all our vendors are approved of those guidelines. I'd like to make a motion that we do go ahead and revise our current policy, whereas our chairman had the ability to spend $10,000, revise that to $5,000, you know, aside from if we're in any kind of state of emergency and normal day-to-day business operations. That keeps the control, and the folks that have to deal with it day in and day out more in their hand, and us not doing something that maybe nobody knows about, and maybe hiring somebody that doesn't have the credentials to do whatever. So I'd like to make that motion.
I've got a motion from Hank to change the spending parameter of the chairman
To 5,000.
to 5,000 instead of 10. Do I have a second? Got a second, Jane? Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. Anything else, Hank?
Yeah, this is new business. Just a reminder, tomorrow we got that marketing meeting, which is about our branding in our community, the Marketing 365 at 11 o'clock. So
Where's that meeting at?
big house or chamber.
Oh, okay.
So please plan to be there if you can. And, you know, I guess it's going to be no excuse, and I've been just as guilty as everybody else. I didn't attend a lot of the first meetings, so who am I to say I don't like it at this point? Well, they're giving us one more opportunity to look at it again, so the more of us that can get there and put our eyes on it, at least it will be something representing the community if we all agree to that. Another thing, we did have a meeting last week, and two of us were involved with it, just kind of a pre-meeting of the comprehensive plan. So the more ideas y'all can pull together, they have you know, we've always had a comprehensive plan, but it's always been something that just sat on the shelf. We didn't use it as a guidance for our community's development and where we were going. And we missed out on a lot of grant opportunities because we didn't have stuff in there. So I just encourage each of you to be a part of that and bring your ideas. So anything you can think of in the next 5 years that, you know, you would even remotely consider us needing, it would be better for it to be in the plan and us not need it than not be in the plan and us have a need for it. So, and that's, hopefully it brought something up to me, and I need your help on making this decision. Just one more thing,